What did the sign of the cross look like in the early church? Where did that fit?
Yeah, so we see it very early on. And there's a time in the earliest church in the first century where we, maybe don't hear about it much. But on the other hand, there's really no time in the church's history we can point to where we can say for sure Christians weren't doing or making the sign of the cross. It seems to begin in the sacrament of baptism, where people are anointed with the oil and the sign of the cross is made on their body, like you would receive the ashes at Ash Wednesday And so it seems like in the earliest centuries of the church, the sign of the cross was made with the thumb on the forehead. And there is an Old Testament precedent for this in Ezekiel, I think it is, where the prophet has a vision about the people of God being signed on their forehead, and sort of like in the Exodus, the blood of the lamb was put on the lintel of the door. Well, now the lintel of your body is your forehead, and you mark yourself for God with this sign. And in Hebrew, the sign is the Hebrew letter Tov, which in Greek becomes Tau, which all the early Christians knew was a cross. And so the sign of the cross on the forehead, sort of like we do when the gospel is read. And this brings up another important point too, which is that sometimes I think what we fall into in the Protestant world is a kind of disembodying of the faith, where it becomes all in our head, or like a spiritual only kind of thing. And that's actually kind of an ancient heresy called Gnosticism, right? But our faith is an embodied faith. And so the early Christians, from very early on, as early as we can tell, were making the sign of the cross on themselves and on their loved ones, on the foreheads, and they would sign themselves with the cross on their eyes and in their hands, and this became a way of blessing a person or yourself on your own body. And so we get, as early as the late 2nd century, we get Tertullian talking about, we sign ourselves with the cross at every moment of the day. When we get up, when we go to sleep, when we sit down, when we stand up, when we tie our shoes, when we take our shoes off. At every moment of the day, we sign ourselves with the cross. And Tertullian might be exaggerating there a little bit, but the point is that early Christians made the sign of the cross. Now, I talk a little bit in the book about my theory of how the sign of the cross went from small on the forehead to, big on the upper body. But the truth is, that's just my theory. We really don't know when or how that transition is made. But one way or another, Christians have, as far as we can tell, always made the sign of the cross, and they've always considered it a prayer of both blessing and protection from evil. And so we have these church fathers who will say things like, wherever the sign of the cross is, evil is weakest, or evil flees from the sight of the sign of the cross. And so it becomes a prayer of protection as well. And so, Christians, and this is the thing, we talk about calling upon the name of God. Well, the sign of the cross does that. Whether you say it out loud or not, you're identifying with the Trinity in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And so you are calling upon the name of God, and you are making this prayer, whether out loud or silently, you're making this prayer of blessing and protection. And after the Our Father, I would say that the making of the sign of the cross is the earliest and most prevalent form of personal devotion for the average lay Christian in the early church.